Assalamu alaikum viewers. Welcome back to Motor Solutions with myself Zuhal Ashok and my special guest Mr. John Duncombe. Our tonight topic is disputed RTA claims. As always, you can pick up your phone and you ask us any questions you have. It could be disputed RTA claims or anything else, as long as it's claim related. The most experienced man in this industry is sitting right next to me, and he's happy to take your call and give your answers. Now, John, I'm coming back to you. We was talking about disputed claims, especially the clients giving you enough information, which means another way you're saying, give me enough ammunition and I'll fire.
Exactly.
Without ammunition, I'm unable, I'm helpless.
That's right.
So that's what you're saying. And I was also saying that how do you assess a claim? Now, there are obviously no disrespect to anybody, but there are a lot of people out there who try to obviously hide things, mislead the lawyers without understanding how expensive it is.
Yes.
And it could go against them, you know, if they have a comfortable life, if they are living, they don't have any bad record or anything, but this could go against them.
Of course,
that could ruin their name as well.
Yep. Of course.
So, yeah, go on.
I was going to say that there's a term, and we've used it before on the show, called fundamental dishonesty.
Yes.
And what it basically means is if you are found to have been lying in your claim, all of the protection that you may have had against having legal costs against you, that goes. It's fraud.
Yeah.
It is a fraud. It goes on your record.
It is.
And you may have been doing nothing more than, I don't know, slightly exaggerating, as we mentioned, claiming for pre-existing damage when there was, saying that was part of the accident. Please don't do that, because our court system is very good. It is very good. And they will find out.
And they get annoyed when they see things like that comes up at some stage of the hearing.
That's exactly right.
The judge gets annoyed and just thinks, is that what we're here for?
Yes, exactly.
You're wasting my time. You're wasting the court's time.
If you go to the court, we've got good courts. They will find out what the story is. If you tell the truth, you will have not a single thing to worry about.
Yeah.
But if you don't, there will be consequences.
Let me come back to you. দর্শক জন আর আমি আমরা যেটা ডিসকাস করতেছি আপনারা সবাই বুঝতে পারতেছেন যারা অ্যাক্সিডেন্টে ফার্স্টে ইনভলভ হয়েছেন বা যারা হন নাই, অ্যাক্সিডেন্ট যে কোনো সময় হতে পারে, যদি হয় তাহলে আপনাদের জেনে রাখা উচিত আপনাদের কি করতে হবে। সব সময় আপনারা মাইন্ডের মধ্যে এটা রাখবেন যে আপনারা যখনই ক্লেম করবেন যা খুশি তা বলবেন না। আপনারা একবার গেলেন লয়ারের কাছে এক ধরনের স্টেটমেন্ট দিলেন, একবার গেলেন স্পেশালিস্ট মেডিকেল এজেন্সির কাছে গিয়ে আরেকটা স্টেটমেন্ট দিলেন, ডিফারেন্ট স্টেটমেন্ট দিলেন। Now, you can't do these sort of things. Now, you have to be very careful. Whatever you're saying, whatever you're claiming, you need to make sure you are telling the truth. As I was saying, John, just explaining that, there's a lot of people also they give one statement to their lawyer, one statement to the medical agency, one statement to the GP, and at some stage, basically, after all these hard works, it's a genuine claim. Everything is right. They got the entitlement to compensation, but they mess everything up because of their different statements.
Different stories.
Now the insurance company is putting all these statements together and they're throwing it back to you saying,
what about
Mr.
this?
John, what about this?
Exactly.
Can we have an explanation? As soon as you face something like that, you're stuck, you're gone.
We can't do it. We've got a medical report that says one thing, medical notes that say another thing, and someone has put on Facebook, what a wonderful holiday I had 3 days after the accident. We really haven't really got much of a leg to stand on, haven't we?
No, you don't.
So be careful. Be careful that you don't lie. Be careful you don't tell exaggeration. Always be consistent. You'll be fine. No one in this world expects you not to bring a claim if you have got a genuine claim.
Genuine claim, but it's your duty, it's your job to prove your claim.
It's your job to prove your claim. And again, I mean, silly things like I just mentioned Facebook, for example. you may actually be doing something that's quite innocent on Facebook. But someone will look at that and they will put some sort of spin on it and saying, look, you said in your medical evidence that you couldn't, I don't know, you couldn't go swimming, and there's a photograph of you on the beach.
Yeah.
Well, you may well just be laying on the beach
Yeah.
because you can't swim, but
Especially like the things been happening in last 5-6 years in this industry. There has been a lot of fraudulent claims, a lot of fraudulent activities. This is why the insurance companies actually employ specialist people, to watch out for those people who's actually lying. And it is their business. Of course, they have all the right to do this. Now, some people do it deliberately, and some people think it's okay to lie. It's all right, I'll get more money.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
But please don't do this.
Please don't do it.
Don't do this. Claiming, it's nobody telling you not to claim, but make sure you're telling the truth. You tell the truth, you will have a very easy claim, easy ride. Insurance company will pay you out because it's your right. They're not going to say, no, you don't have a claim. We're not going to pay you, because they will see that you're genuine, and genuinely, you're making a claim, and they wouldn't have any problem with that. Also, sometimes the claim gets disputed. Genuine claims, somebody saying, people do lie. They will say, oh, it's not my fault. The person in the front just changed lane, came in front of me for no reason. This is why people get frustrated.
Yes.
A lot of people say, no, this is not what exactly happened. So
Yep.
why is he changing his story? They get frustrated, and because of their frustration, at some stage, they fell out with their own lawyer.
Yeah.
What would you say to that?
well, please don't. It's a starting point. Please don't fall out with us. We are on your side. We do have to test the evidence. If the insurance company or the other side's solicitor puts something to us, we have to put it to you. We have to get your answer. It's not that we don't believe you, it's that we need to get the answer back so that we can give it. So please don't fall out with us. Understand we're doing a job.
Yeah.
The strangest things will be put to us at times. We can have a case where the other side have pulled from a side turning, and their position is, you must have been speeding because I didn't see you. Now, we've got to say that to you because that's what's been said to us.
Yeah.
But quite frankly, we wouldn't even believe that, because you must have been there for them to for you to have hit them.
Yeah.
But we have to put it to you so we've got an answer. And as I say, sometimes, like a doctor would test by asking you, do you have this symptom, do you have that symptom? We're not suggesting for 1 second that you're not telling the truth. We're testing whether the evidence will stand up in court.
Yeah.
Do not want to put you into a position that will be embarrassing or difficult for you. And it's as simple as that.
Yeah. And it's better to obviously discuss all this before you end up in the court, because if you do end up in the court, and when they end up in the court, and if you never discuss as a lawyer with them, then simply you haven't done your job properly, and it's going to be a sudden bombardment for them, all the questions just raising, and they're not aware of any of these.
That's exactly it. And also, I would say, if the person that you're dealing with at your solicitors, you aren't getting on with, some people don't get on with, there's always going to be, ask the lawyer must have a supervisor. Ask to speak to the supervisor. If at the end of the day you're really very not happy, then you could even change solicitors, but I wouldn't recommend it, because once you've got solicitors working for you, they'll do the right job.
But I also heard that, is that true, that a lot of the time when a case ends up in the court, sometimes your client's obviously completely innocent, but for some reason the insurance company is not believing them. Claims obviously ends up in the court, trials takes place. Now the insurance company, because they got the power, they got the money, they would probably hire the best barrister.
Of course.
Not even one, probably 3 barristers, two's making the notes and one, 2 helping one. Now you, don't take me wrong, sometimes obviously you lawyers are hiring some junior barristers,
right,
and sending them to court, because if you were to get very experienced barristers, it becomes very expensive for you guys. Now, how do you expect to win? Although the claim is genuine, but how do you expect for your junior barrister to tackle the 20 years experience, you put 20 years together for each one of them, that becomes 60 years experience against, I mean, a 10 years experience against 60 years experience.
Wow.
Although we all know that in the code, the claim, it was like, the experience for the most experienced one wins.
Yes.
And they can manipulate the truth.
Well, sometimes. There was a phrase I read the other day, which was something along the lines of, don't mistake experience for enthusiasm. Sometimes a more junior lawyer will spend more time looking at the case and examining it.
But they do.
But you are right, they are, insurance companies have
because they will give everything.
lots of money.
They don't want to lose the claim, because if they can win a claim, they're also turning that into a case law.
Exactly.
So they will give their 200%, everything they have.
Insurance companies will have plenty of money to throw at something. Now, the difficulty we have as lawyers is that there are only fixed amounts of sums that we can recover. So if we have a barrister that is going to charge us £3,000, but we can only get £500 back, who's going to pay the other £2,500?
Yeah,
that
this is
would be
the difficulty that you have.
We have to balance the economics with the ability to fight the case. And I would suggest a good solicitor with a good barrister with a good case will win over and above a clever, expensive barrister with a poor case. So get the case right, you will be fine. So
you're saying that it's not always about the experience, but we do have to say that, for example, like, I mean, if a solicitor, a newly qualified solicitor, comes and face you, even if you don't study the whole claim, but still, I mean, from your practical knowledge,
well, hopefully I would be able to argue the point, but I can only argue the point if the point's there to argue. In other words, if the client has given me the ammunition, I can fire it, and I can fire it in a good way.
But then again, if you are a good shooter, then you can only fire it. Otherwise, if there is enough ammunition, I mean, you're not going to get your target right.
I will make no arguments against the fact that insurance companies with a very big pocket can hire very, very expensive lawyers.
Yes.
And I will tell you now, do I believe that's fair? No.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't think it's fair. Is it what the government wants? It appears to be. It's what the legal system is. Yes, because there are only fixed amounts of money that we can get back, and we can only work within those economics. But I will go back and say, a good lawyer, a good barrister, a good case,
and a good client.
And a good client.
And a good client who's not ignoring everything and thinking lawyer will do the job for them.
Exactly.
You need to get involved yourself as well.
This is exactly it. And remember, the clients, all clients have to remember, it's their case.
Yes, they have to get involved.
They
have
to
to read it. They have to, if they don't understand something, get a translator.
Exactly.
These days, I mean, I think a lawyer like yourself, sometimes I think you can claim the translation cost as well.
If our clients need translation and interpretation, of course we can. As long
Thank
as
you,
it's
John.
genuine.
I'll come back to you. Again, it's time to take a break.
Thank you.
দর্শক সময় হয়ে গেল আরেকটা বিরতি নেওয়ার। বিরতি থেকে আসার পরে আপনাদের সাথে কথা হবে। So please don't go anywhere. We'll see you shortly after the break.